Hey guys, Grayson Goff here with the SPL, the 2015 SPL Jacksonville Open Field Layout at Will's Paintball in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm going to do a little breakdown for you. I want to start first with kind of my overall impressions of this field. This is one of the most interesting layouts I've seen probably all year and maybe in all of my paintball lifetime. You know, it's just a very interesting layout. The snake is very unorthodox. The Dorito Side is somewhat unorthodox with those big two Doritos inset on the field. The center is a pretty standard. You got some cakes behind the X, but yeah, very interesting field layout. And it's really I think it's really both those tapes as you get close to the 50, it gets interesting. So first off, I want to start. Like I said, overall impressions. I think this is going to be a heavy shooters field. This tall cake and these two pins in the back center, they're going to provide, it looks like, a lot of lanes off the break. You can shoot cross shots from these pins. You can also shoot heads up from these pins, or at least on the snake side, you're going to be kind of behind this Mayan shooting heads up. You can shoot heads up, obviously, on this Dorito side from this pin. The tall cake has lanes. I mean, there's lanes everywhere out of this back center. So it's going to be a heavy shooters field. It's going to be important if y'all are drilling this weekend to drill all these lanes you can shoot off the break, and really learn how to key up on certain guys. If they're going far on Dorito, how do you shoot that guy out? If they're going far on the snake side, how do you shoot that guy out? How many, where to put the guns? And generally, I think a lot of it may be from those cross shots from those pins. So what you're going to see, I think, a lot of teams stacking 3, potentially maybe even 4 back there, and then filling out because these lanes look pretty dang strong to me. Let's move on to the snake side. The one thing, generally when I break these fields down, what I'm looking at is, okay, where do I want to be so I can kill the other team? And then how do I protect my guy when he's in that spot? To me, it looks like we want to be in this 50 area. Obviously, we want to, we really want to be, say we are, we're playing this direction. We really want to be in their snake. You see, I mean, it opens up. This is going to be the most important bunker on the field. If you can take this spot and keep the other team out of it, you are going to get a ton of kills. I mean, you kill basically the whole Dorito side. Potentially even their 50 Dorito, any of these Doritos over here. That small Dorito may be one of the few spots you can actually live from this 50 snake. Even then, you can even back up to your own snake and still shoot him. But yeah, the shots are just, I mean, there's just shots on almost every single bunker out here from that 50 snake. So if you're playing this snake side, your goal is to get right there. And that's the thing. The reason this field is tricky is because this is just a completely unorthodox snake in terms of it's all broken up, which generally makes it play slower, but the way it keeps going inset as you bump down the field could potentially make it an easy one to move down. What really could potentially slow it down is obviously anything down the wire. You're always going to have to battle, it looks like battle your mirror to move down. And then this can potentially could have some drop shots as you come around some of these knuckles. This can honestly may be the best defensive bunker on this side. It's something you guys are going to have to look at and walk. But if that can shoot down at all those snake bumps, that can's going to be the best spot to be in terms of a back player. You may want to actually use the corner some as well to pull guns wide. But for the most part, you're probably going to be using these 2 bunkers as your support for the support player for that snake side, and helping the snake player get to our goal of that 50 snake, where all those kills open up from their basically their 45. One thing to think about is that there's obviously you can go your traditional route into the snake. You may go corner, bump into this mini race, then bump into snake 1. And then obviously work your way down. That's the obvious progression on this side. One thing to think about is potentially, whether you're in the corner of the can, say we come from the can in this mini race, and we have the ability if you have the ability to skip snake 1, I'd almost skip it. More times than not, if you can skip a spot, you're not going to get stuck in it, and better shots open up immediately if you're able to take that snake too. It may even be possible. It's hard to tell when I'm just looking at a field layout like this, where I'm just looking top down. I'm not on the physical field, but it could be possible to even have your snake guy, your snake attacker, laying off the break, going up into this Mayan temple, coming across to this pin, and then working himself into snake 2 like that as well. Ways to I'd look for ways to kind of skip out on that snake 1 if at all possible. It may be very hard. There may be good shots on that pin, but it's definitely worth a shot to try some different ways to get into that snake. Possibly even if you need to score a quick point, you work all the way up into that pin and go straight to the 50 snake. Now that's going to be a big bite with a lot of open lanes, but hey, it's worth a shot. So with that said, so guys, yeah, like I said, here, your goal on this snake side is going to be their 50 snake. Where you want to be to protect him, y'all need to take a look at it. But I'm guessing it's going to be either one of these 2 bunkers. Most likely that can. If he can prevent snake bumps, it's going to be that can, and he can also somewhat see over the wire or see over the highway move if they try to make a highway move on you as well. Okay. So let's move over to this Dorito side. Again, there's really generally we have a bunker somewhere in here that can really lock up a Dorito side. But as we see, there's a tall cake in back center and a pin, and then really nothing else. I mean, we have basically this temple and this Mayan temple that can play a more support role on this Dorito side. But they're the temple we have back here is almost too close to the tape to provide a really good stopping lane. They don't a lot of, as you move down those Doritos, a lot of the moves get blinded. It looks like are going to get blinded out for this temple, so he's not going to even be able to see this Dorito 2 to Dorito 3 move. This temple right here can see that move. I don't know if you can see Dorito. This is something y'all are going to have to watch. He should be able to see that Dorito 1. So this may be the spot you play if you're really looking to lock out this Dorito side. The problem is you open yourself up to snake lanes. So it's just one of those risks. If you're getting beat down this Dorito side, you're going to have to play this temple for the most part, or potentially even the corner. But it's just there's a lot of good lanes from that snake side to pinch you out. This temple is probably one of the safer bunkers, along with Dorito 1 on this Dorito side from those snake lanes. But obviously, so I mean, I'm assuming this Dorito side could also play very fast. The difference, though, between the snake side I think is more powerful, but will play slower. Dorito side is less powerful, but will play a lot quicker. The problem is that obviously our goal on this Dorito side is to get to the 50 Dorito. If it's even bodies, we can make this 50 Dorito, put a few guys in, get down the field. But what we see here is that these inset Doritos block a lot of these shots. This is something, it depends on exactly how they lay out the field, but there doesn't seem to be too many solid kills from this 50 Dorito. I mean, obviously these snake guys can duck down, you can't shoot them, and then they pop up and shoot at you whenever they feel like it. I mean, you really don't have any awesome shots. Potentially you could kill this can, maybe this snake temple. But it all depends on this inset Dorito right here that kind of is blocking a lot of these great shots from the 50 Dorito. What we can look to do is if we control this wire, or if we've kept them kind of trapped on this side of the field, we can look to move into their Dorito where we can really get, obviously there. We're going to get some easy kills. But, I mean, for the most part, this Dorito side, like I said, that 50 Dorito doesn't guarantee kills like the snake side. I feel like it could be easier to get to and put some real pressure on teams, but it really doesn't guarantee kills. So that's something you can think about. If you have a really fast, aggressive Dorito player, get him up to that 50. It may make some teams freak out. And give away bodies because you're in the 50 Dorito when they necessarily, are for the most part pretty damn safe. So it's just, little food for thought. You also, I mean, there's definitely potential to be using these inset Doritos. That could honestly, now that I'm looking at, that could be the best way to lock up this side is get into these Doritos right here, to lock up this side, because it's going to be hard for that snake guy to shoot you because you're behind a really big Dorito. You're putting yourself in a really risky situation though, because you really have to be gun dominant. They can also slide into your mirror and maybe potentially catch your barrel or your loader. Because when you're that far up the field, your field of vision is not as good as were you 10, 15 feet back. So there is some danger in there. There is also the possibility another one of those things. If you need to win a quick point, working yourself up in these Doritos and then into their Dorito where we see these shots open up, your lifespan there will be really dang short. But again, just another option for a quick point. So with that said, kind of recap Dorito side. I think it will play fast. I don't know if there's really a great spot to really lock it down from, especially if teams are able to get wide on that side. But it's something used to your advantage. Know that the Dorito side doesn't guarantee kills, so if a team's pushing that side hard, it's not a big deal. As long as you're communicating, it's not a big deal. On the flip side, if you have an aggressive Dorito player, push that side, get down the field. It does help to have that 50 Dorito and have those angles on anyone moving on that snake side, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee kills. You're gonna basically kind of hope to kind of freak the other team out. They'll lose their cool because you're in the 50 Dorito, and they're gonna give you bodies away. All right, with that said, guys, let's move on to the center. These are the three bunkers that are the most playable. Not in the mini race, but we have the Temple and the Can, and obviously the X. The way this field, because of how open this back center is, most players are going to filter out to the tapes. There's no reason, and that's a big mistake I do not want to see teams make on this field layout, is stay in that back center. At some point that back center is really not going to do much. You need to flow. If you are that five guy and all your guys have lived, flow into this Temple, potentially flow into this Can. I don't like the Can as much. I'd rather see on that Temple, or if you're going to flow to the Dorito side, you flow out all the way to the tape. In terms of coming up into the center, like I said, I'd much rather see y'all in the Mayan Temple instead of that Can, because he really is a lot safer. Cans are tough to play. People they're a lot harder to hide behind and live behind as teams move down the field. So yeah, I honestly don't think this center is very strong because of the way the back center is. And because of all these massive bunkers all along the tape, like a cake, and the cake is like an Xbox. It's not going to be that good. If you get kills off the side and you're able to trap them, this Temple is going to be great at locking out the snake side. They can too, can lock out this Dorito side. So it's one of those things. If you get a kill, if you shoot it, their wide guy off the break, and you're able to trap them. I don't have any problem with guys making a move up to the center, even up to the A potentially. But I really like these two bunkers better. If you get a kill early, take those spots, lock them out. You'll probably get a second kill with somebody trying to fill out, especially since they're going to be stuck in a pin or a tall cake in the back center. But if you don't get a kill early on, I'd rather see y'all filter out to the tapes. And really play kind of that we call it the horseshoe style play, because you're not going to be able to get easy kills up the center once they know you're there and once the game has kind of progressed. Guys, other than that, we can go through. Let's see if I can come up with a decent little breakout. So like I said, I'm going to triple stack this back center. I'm gonna try to play aggressive on this snake side, so I'm gonna take the corner, and we're gonna go a little bit shorter over here on the Dorito side. For this play, I'm gonna really try to shoot this snake side, so I'm gonna put my pin cross, my back center. I'm gonna have him shoot snake side as well, and I'll have this pin shoot cross. So I have two guns, snake side, one gun Dorito side. This snake player is really going to look. We're going to look to get a kill off the snake side, and he's going to look to immediately fill up. Like I said, either into snake 1 or possibly into snake 2. All these guys in the center, once they shoot their lanes, are really they have to have incredibly good communication, because once they shoot their lanes, they're immediately, the 2 pin guys are going to have to immediately go heads up. Obviously, this pin guy, it's an easy move for him into this big Mayan temple to really lock off to get heads up on that snake side. But they need good communication, because when they switch, they need to know, because this pin guy, the snake pin, would have shot Dorito side. He has no idea what's on the snake side, so now he has to go heads up. So he's relying on his back center player and the other pin player to let him know what's going on. Same goes for the pin, the Dorito pin. He needs to know what's going on in this Dorito side and potentially make a move into that Mayan temple, help his attacker get down the field all the way to 50. Back center, most likely, because I feel like the snake side is going to be a little bit more powerful. He most likely will filter back here and then into this can and be the real snake supporter. The other, so I mean, yeah, that's probably one of my base breakouts. You can you obviously switch the guns around, shoot more Dorito side if you're going to push that side more. But yeah, other than that, guys, this is such an interesting layout. I'm willing to kind of take questions and feedback after the fact, because I'm curious how this layout will play. So if you have any questions, please shoot me an email, or any feedback, please shoot me an email, and I can make another video based on y'all's feedback. Grayson at bkipaintball.com. All right, guys, take it easy and have fun on this one.